All right, man. Let's talk about Black Adam. So I went to go see Black Adam. Went to go see it Saturday night, man. Had a hell of a night, man. It actually was a really, really good movie. All right. I enjoyed it. Now, apparently, it was some mixed reviews out there, and a lot of times you gotta understand the message, where the message coming from. So a lot of people like to compare Marvel movies and Marvel TV shows to DC TV shows and DC movies and all that, which is kind of totally different. And even in the comic books, they are totally different. Okay, they are 100% totally different. And when you look at Marvel, Marvel is more light, humorous, right? DC is more dark, you know what I'm saying? And it's more, cynical. And that's why I kind of prefer DC just overall. But there's a time and place for Marvel as well, too. And Marvel understands what Marvel does best. Now with DC, one of the main concerns was the lack of character development when it came to some of these characters. Now, to people who read comics and people know comic books, and for people who understand that portion of it, it's really not, you know, they're not ignorant to that type of stuff. Now, people who don't know the history of the comic book characters, then yeah, it's lack of character development. And what Marvel does best when it comes to the character development is they do a great way of kind of intertwining, um and Disney as a whole, intertwining it. Like, they, how they did Captain America, whatever, um not Captain America, but Captain Marvel, and they introduced Captain Marvel, and then they integrated her into the end game, and then they did Miss Marvel. I forget, is Miss Marvel? She's had a TV show, and now eventually they're gonna link. They work together. That's how she ended up getting the name Miss Marvel. And now they're gonna link them together and all that stuff. So they do a great job of character development, a fantastic job. The average person don't know about Atom Smasher. The Atom person don't know about Cyclone. And one of the things that, a lot of people pointed out about the Suicide Squad that they didn't like was that it was a lack of character development. In the first Suicide Squad, they made up for a lack of movies about, Deadshot, and they did flashbacks where you kind of got to know their story, how they got in jail, whoop de whoop. In the second Suicide Squad, they didn't do those flashbacks. So there was a lack of character development pre-movie and during the movie. A lot of people felt like it was kind of like that with DC, with the Justice League, a little bit. But we all pretty much know about Flash, Aquaman. They did do the Aquaman movie and all that type of stuff. And obviously the platinum standard for superhero movies is Batman, and that's DC. But then everything else gets kind of murky. Yeah, they messed up with Birds of a Prey, because the name Birds of a Prey, instead of just naming it the Harley Quinn movie. That was a great movie. They messed that up. Shazam was shockingly a great movie. It's the reason why they came out with Black Adam. So in Black Adams, some people say it's right up there with the Dark Knight. And the thing about this movie was, the acting was great, the storyline was great, the graphics was great, and my man's who played Hawkman was excellent. He's an Eldest Hodge, excellent actor. And you had Viola Davis and Quintessa Swindles, beautiful young lady. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Fate was dope. Most people know about Dr. Fate. I mean, it was overall a great. Everybody played their role to the T. The acting was great. The storyline was great. The extras was great. you know, um, It just really wasn't really nothing bad to complain about. The movie length was perfect, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Great. The Rock was a star in this. You know, Dr. Fate was another dude who stole Pierce Bronson. He stole the show. Adam Smasher was funny. It had a little bit of humor to it. And the fight scenes were vicious. They were I'm looking for they were bone crushing. Now, was it to the point where they was as bone crushing and brutal as Robert Pattinson's Batman that just came out? No, but it was a lot of it. It was a lot of it. And with Batman, it was more of a mystery. It was stints of bone crushing fight scenes. There were nice stints of it. You know, there were stints of it. In this one, a lot of fighting and good balanced dialogue. And it gave some mystery about the storyline. So it wasn't just like a straight forward storyline. We pretty much know the storyline. There were some twisters in there too about Black Adam's storyline. There were some twisters in there. So yeah, and you're like, oh, that's how it happened, and this, that, and the third, and so yeah, it was great, man, and it was humorous. It was appropriate for kids. Um, uh, and like I said, it exceeded the hype, and people start saying, "Oh, that could kill," and it's Marvel is so dominant that everybody expects that everybody expects that's just what a superhero movie supposed to be like. It's Marvel, you know. That's kind of like, but it's DC is totally different. It's totally different. So, but yeah, it had twisters. It had great fight scenes. It had, it had great dialogue, great acting. I mean, it had everything you needed. Yeah, it had everything you were looking for in a superhero movie. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too many dull points. It wasn't too much dialogue. Like the end game was just too much dialogue, and I understood the importance of the dialogue in the end game. It was everything was right. Even though you sit there, you're like, man, they talking too much. Man, never got to that point. It never got to that point. You know, and then at the end of the credits, you had it's no secret, Superman show up, and we know the storyline kind of from a lot of people say if they can make DC does a great job. They do a great job of the animated movies, and that's true. The animated movies are the best. The issue, is kind of making that translation into the movie, and they're getting better in the actual physical movies of making that transition. But yeah, if they can recreate the animation of Superman, Shazam, and Black Adam, which it seemed like they kind of going in that direction, that's gonna be epic. They fight was epic on the animated series. It's epic, and I love the anti-hero. I'm gonna say, I don't know, would you call him anti-hero or confused hero kind of thing we got going on. We had Black Adam, and now you got Namor and the Black Panther. A lot of people didn't know Namor actually came out. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He's gonna be the villain. He actually was the he was the first. He was before Aquaman. So a lot of people didn't know that he was before Aquaman. So, but yeah, man, I'll give it like a 9 out of 10, bro. Like easily. I'm gonna probably say 9.5, 9.5 out of 10. I didn't think The Rock was gonna be part of anything BS, no way. And they were sitting here shitting on the movie and saying, "Oh, play, oh, it didn't have development." And you love to see those flashbacks about the characters. And they kind of he briefly when it came on, well, when they got to the point about them, them bringing in the Justice Society and all of that. They didn't really get into their background. He gave a briefing on the Justice Society, but it was more about the background of the country that they was trying to save. I can't remember exactly the name of the country, but also it was just about the Canada. It was more about the history of that country, even more about the history of Black Adam. That's what it was about. It was more about the history of their country and the hit and their oppression. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people going through that right now. And people stealing their natural resources and poaching over there, and the Justice Society coming over there only to stop Black Adam because and it looked like he came over there to stop Black Adam. But they didn't come over there to liberate the country, and they love Black Adam because they liberate the country. And then there was some confusion about who Black Adam was, how Black Adam got his powers, and I mean, it was great all the way around. It wasn't too much talking. It was a lot of action, and it was top notch. I mean, I don't have nothing to complain about, nothing. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notification. Increase your chance of notifications. We go live, we drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Check out the movie review playlist for more videos like this. Peace.